Hey there, welcome to the Be a Better You annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, day 50. I think we should celebrate today that we've reached a milestone. 50 days is a big deal. Most people, when they set a goal or start something or join a challenge or do anything, New Year's resolutions, for example, they quit within 2 weeks. So if you're still here, congratulate yourself, celebrate, write it in your gratitude journal, and do today's challenge right along with me. Today we're talking about one of my favorite exercises, and I say this all the time because it actually is one of my favorite exercises. It's called the lifeline exercise. Remember those timelines that you used in grade school, even in high school, to study history, to study global events, to study social studies and things like that? There were timelines of events that led up to a big event, right? Something that impacted the entire world, like the world wars, etc., or the Holocaust, things like that. So we can use a similar tool to track the big events in our life, both the good ones and the bad ones. And what I've found is over time, looking back on, and this is a timeline I show because I can hold it up. I've used this since 2020 when I started sharing every day doing the annual challenge. I didn't used to share my annual challenge. I guess I started in 2018 sharing my annual challenge. But in 2020, it became very important to me to continue to share and move forward and show up every day. Even on the days we don't feel like it, we still need to show up. So what the heck's a timeline? Our lifeline. A lifeline is just a timeline for our life. So usually start at the year you're born. Yes, I was born in 1960. I'm going to be the big 6'5" this year. And then I just graph on it big events, right? Big physical events, like physical things that happened to me, like I had a sudden cardiac arrest in 2010. That's kind of a big deal when you drop dead. So that is, of course, on my lifeline. And I'm just grateful every day that I still have a lifeline after that point. So we map those things out. And then what I like to do, and we'll do this throughout this year, is look at each of the different areas of the life framework. And this month it's confidence. So I like to look at and review and reflect on what impact did this event have on my confidence. Was it, and I like to make it, I've got a big giant timeline that I use this for now, a lifeline. And what I like to do is above the line and below the line. Above the line are positive impacts on that particular item. So positive influences on confidence, things that built my confidence, getting a job, getting a promotion, landing a great client, things like that are on my lifeline. And just with respect to work, I guess, and work life. And so those things are above the line. Below the line, there's always things that are below the line. Health events, sudden cardiac arrest is definitely below the line, right? If the line is average, or how I don't know. You get to decide what the rules are for your lines. You can just have the regular line and then go up and down, and the higher up is more positive. The closer to the actual line is, negative or neutral, or below the line is negative and the line is neutral, and above the line is positive. So it's one of those tools that we can take and we can make our own. We can tweak it and use it and make it work for us in whatever way it makes sense. And I'm going to encourage you to do that with everything I share this year. Everything I share, everything I talk about, every tool, it's up to you to test it out, tweak it, and make it work for you. Or test it out a few times, try tweaking it, and realize this tool does not work for me. It does not make me feel better. Now, I will caution you that sometimes we come across tools that don't make us feel good, and they're the ones that we need it the most. I'll tell you a story about that down the road as we're going through the challenge this year, because it had a profound impact on how I approach things and my ability to keep my word to myself. We talked about that yesterday, how important it is to keep promises to yourself. And that was one promise I kept to myself, and I said, you cannot move on until you do every exercise in order. And then it turns out, once I did the exercise, it took me 2 months to get up the gumption to do it and look at it, and that slowed my progress down by 8 months. I wanted to get this book done in a year. It took me a year and a half plus, because I found exercises that tripped me up, and they weren't hard exercises. They were just things that I wasn't ready to face yet, right? So then once I could face them, I could move on. So lifeline, timeline, what are we doing today? We are, if you don't have one created, because I think we talked about this last month, and I encourage everybody to start the framework of this, And as you go about using it, you'll remember things that you forgot to put on your timeline. I still, after using this for this one I've used since 2021 or 2020, I still think of things that, oh, that really should be on my timeline. And I'll put on my timeline and I'll catch up with where we are, because it might be halfway through the year, and say, okay, well, how did that impact each of these different areas? And then I graph that across the board. So I guess down, because it's just one point, one time point. All right. That's it. That's our exercise today. That's our topic for today. How do the events and the experiences that we've had in our life, the big events, right? How have they impacted our confidence? Share one aha you have in the comments below so we can learn from one another. Any questions? Just have to ask me. I'm here for you. Have a great day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye. Have fun with this. It's a great exercise.